There we go. Okay. Missed my whole intro, but that is all right. I froze. Any hoots. Alexa, play Transparent Soul by Willow Smith. I don't have an Alexa, y'all, so please. Yeah, ever since I was young, I have always marched to the beat of my own drum. I never really cared, and honestly, I still kind of don't care what's considered trendy or what the other cool kids are doing, and especially never really tried to fit in with the general masses. Um, you know, but seriously, I am someone. I'm Alexis. I'm someone who cries over the meaning of something that the world might deem meaningless. I am deeply intuitive. I am a thinker. Sometimes I think too much, in my opinion. I am the rhythm of bomba y plena. I'm the smell of sofrito being made early on a Sunday morning. I am, mira, nena, ¿qué te pasa? Okay. Shout out to Annette T Spaghetti. Yep. I am the direct reflection, honestly, of every single one of my friends and how amazing and creative that they are, and how supportive they are. And most importantly, I am everything that everyone tries to avoid when faced with the silence of the world. I am an individual so complex and so unafraid to live in authenticity that I have no choice but to be Alexis. I am Dan Dan the director, and welcome to my show, Beyond Close. Yes. Oh my gosh, we got 6 viewers. Hey y'all. Yes. Um, Now that leads us to our next segment, the paradigm. So on this week's blog post, I wrote about effortlessness, perfection, which is the killer of effortlessness. So I'm going to pull a quote directly from my blog post, which says, perfection, like beauty, is in the eye of the beholder. But at what point do we question the beholder's perception of both? That's a rough quote, okay? I didn't quote it directly, but that's a rough quote. Um, I can see the comments now. Uh, Thank you, love for Ja. Thank you. Thank you. Um, MLB, we miss you. We miss you, girl. Jade, hey, get the butterfly head, girl. I'm just happy y'all are here. Thank you for supporting. Back to the topic at hand, because I can go on forever on a tangent. Perfection is in the eye of the beholder. And honestly, we need to start questioning the beholder's perception of beauty and perfection. Society right now, and y'all let me know what you think, please. In my opinion, society is in a huge tug of war where we're currently trying to break free from the chains of the beholder's perception, but we also want to appease the beholder at the same time. The number one example that I have of this being the case is the Met Gala. Now, while the Met itself is not shutting down, and we're going to continue to see work from the Met Museum, um, the work that the Met does, the plot has kind of been lost a little bit, especially this last Met Gala. I'm ready to talk about it, okay? Because I didn't want to talk about it while it was happening. Beyonce, this ain't got nothing to do with you, girl. We love you down, okay? Um, but the plot of the event has been lost. It has become a breeding ground of influencers and the most popular stars instead of shedding light on the institution itself, what they do for small designers, creatives, even fashion schools surrounding New York, and even donating to design schools and fashion schools overseas. So we don't get to see the hard work, the dedication, the art, and the fashion itself that is poured into the Met. Why? Everybody's so focused on the wrong thing. Oh my God, who's attending the Met Gala this year? Who's doing this? Who's doing that? And I want to touch back into, because again, this is the paradigm section of the conversation. I want to tap back into when I said I march to the beat of my own drum. And if you are someone who marches to the beat of your own drum as well, good for you. Okay. Round of applause to everybody unafraid to live in authenticity. We love it. However, and comma, but when you march to the beat of your own drum, you have to understand when to adjust the beat to match the melody of another person to fully encompass what community and what collaboration really looks like. And I think at this point in time, especially we definitely have seen it in the last two Met Galas, because I'm going to continue around this topic because it's the easiest example that I have. So with the, and I can definitely bring up last year's Met Gala with Black dandyism. I was severely disappointed. I was, because why? Because everyone, especially in this era of personal branding, in this era of I am me and I'm going to showcase what I'm about instead of following a theme, people, we're out of tune, everybody. We're out of tune. Somebody is playing this beat and someone is playing a completely different beat when in reality the beats are supposed to come together to create beautiful melody, a harmonic melody. And we are not doing that. This year, even fashion as art, we even saw it this year with the way that everyone, not everybody, but majority, kind of missed the mark a little bit. And I think that another thing is the theme was also a little bit too broad. But that's a conversation for another day. But yeah, back to the blog. I'm gonna pull it up. Okay. Effortless. So the paradigm of the century, clean aesthetics. What is, and y'all could drop it in the comments or just continue to watch, because that's what y'all love to do. Everyone has a different perception and a different definition of what clean means. For instance, me, I think silver jewelry is clean and gold jewelry is for the maximal. Honestly, I mix metals all the time, so I don't really, clean is not, it's not in my vocabulary in terms of fashion unless I am doing tailored silhouettes, or unless I'm washing my derriere. And so with the rise in the in my blog post Effortless, you can check it out on Substack at Don Don Says. We live in the digital age. With the rise of 4K, 6K, and 12K cameras, I feel as though it has catapulted us into this sterile, clean, and hyper perfectionist era, where ultra flawless photos, none of the flyaways. Because I have a bunch of flyaways. I don't care. It adds character. What? Punk was never supposed to be perfect, by the way. But again, another conversation for another day. But to me, unless you are using these hyper perfectionist 4, 6, or even 12K or whatever K camera you have, because I know there's so many being made. But with this super HD photography, everyone wants to be so clean, picture perfect, clean cut, almost as if we're constantly being watched. Do, 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 do. Yup. Constantly being watched. Okay. Aluminum foil hat is on. But yeah, I feel like with this super hyper perfectionist era, it really has diluted and dwindled what it means, what fashion means, period. And I think that it's extremely important for us to kind of remember what is our definition of aesthetic? What is our definition of what it means to be clean? And honestly, unless you're using it in product shots, I have a visual merchandising background. So for those of you that know, you know. But when it comes to product photo shoots and product shots, I do believe that these my English is not very good looking. But I do believe that this hyper perfectionist, these cameras, these HD cameras, um, are needed for product shots and commercial shoots, all of those things, right? However, for smaller projects, I do think that we need to start exploring or re-exploring different camera types, different things, because in my opinion, HD cameras don't quite capture the color, creativity, and just the overall human experience. Um, Again, I would love to shout out Raja, Lion, Joel, Michael. These are all people who are, and these are some of my previous speakers. So head over to my Instagram, and you can check out their Instagram pages. But these people do shoots. Even my best friend is on here. Hey Jade, even herself. A lot of people do these photo shoots, and they're not afraid to show the raw, the real, and the reality of what it means to be a creative. Because fashion is not glitz and glam. Um, so that leads us to our next topic. Um, the wardrobe. So I want to start off with someone that I mentioned originally in my blog post. And the wardrobe has to do with the paradigm. So effortlessness for those of you that may have just joined. But we're going to start off with Jane Birkin. Um, According to British Vogue, she's the queen of effortlessness at hand. And honestly, she is the woman who inspired the iconic Birkin bag. So of course, we're going to start off with her. Jane Birkin is the perfect example of what it means to be effortless. She carried around a wicker basket. For those of you, it's a weave, basket weave, like you know, a picnic basket in the words of Winnie the Pooh. But she used to carry it around, carried all her entire life inside that bag because she thought it was the most practical and for her to use. One day, for those of you that may not know the story, she was on a flight on her way from London to Paris or Paris to London. Don't direct me, quote me. But she was on a flight and she was sitting next to the creative director at the time of Hermes. And he saw her and was like, what the heck is this girl doing with a freaking wicker basket on an airplane? As she's trying to put it in the overhead bin, boop, her wicker basket falls and everything spilled on the floor. While he was helping her gather her items and all that, it sparked up an interesting conversation about at the time the unconventional bag styles that were being pushed into the mainstream and how she felt that busy mothers with busy schedules just didn't clean aesthetic. Oh, wait a minute before I continue. Clean. Okay, we're gonna read some of these comments because I missed it out because I do tend to talk a lot. Okay. We have Ja who said clean girl aesthetic TikTok has put that into everyone's mind. Yes, my phone lags, so I'm sorry. Then we have MLB Junior. Clean aesthetic is very much the image of perfection and curation. Period. Go doll. Period. Clean aesthetic is a hyper detailed focus of pedestrian. Don't piss me off. Pedestrian HR friendly clothing fit to be digested by anyone in a communal cafeteria. And that is on a chicken sandwich. You hear me? Yes. Um very much that. That is on a chicken sandwich. But yes, back to Jane. Back to Miss Jane, the woman of the Birkin herself. Again, her and the creative director at the time, Mr. I forgot your name, don't hate me. But it sparked up an interesting conversation where they were speaking about but you need a chicken salad. This is why I don't look at the comments. So I'm gonna go ahead and focus. And I'll look over here later because we love a good chicken salad on a croissant. I'm not French, but this is real portela in a trois, if you know what I mean. And if you don't hate me. I ain't French, Puerto Rican. So this is Puerto Rican French. Hello. Anyway, yes, so Jane Birkin inspired the Birkin bag. Later on down the line, years in the making, she was carrying it around as it was intended, which was a tote for large, just it was supposed to be an everyday tote that you slung around and threw over here and threw over there, and it was meant to be used as such. Those Trader Joe's totes, that's what the Birkin was before the Birkin became the Birkin, essentially. Um, However, and comma but, Jane retired the Birkin bag because she thought it was unconventional and like not suitable for everyday use, especially for a busy mother. Is that not contradictory? Like, the woman who inspired the bag no longer wants to use the bag and lived out the rest of her days carrying her little wicker basket. And I think that the important message behind the story that we need to recognize and that we need to remember is that if Jane was so hyper fixated on perfection and the beholder's perception of said perfection and beauty, we would never have gotten the Birkin. And while everyone in this earth, everyone, and that's on signature style, okay? Because me, you know what? I can't find it right now, but it's me and my crocheted little green sack bag against the world forever. Um, and if we really want to get into it, the Birkin bag not that cute for the price. The silence speaks for itself. I agree. Moving on. It is me and my little green crochet bag against the world. Because I agree. Because the Birkin, I'm sorry. And Hermes might that's enough of that. But yes, Jane Birkin was more was more focused on living than being the next thing. And I think that that's like a key piece is that everybody's trying to like try too hard, but whatever. I'm going to bring up some other celebrities and I want to hear what you guys think about their personal style. Because these are a few celebrities, people that I think have a sense of effortlessness about them, that I feel like a lot of people can take from their playbook. Number one, actually, let me preface. These are in no specific order. I'm just naming names. But he's my number one, Willem Dafoe. Okay, the Green Goblin. For those of you that don't know, Willem Dafoe, where he be wearing the mess out of a tailored suit. You hear me? Hold on. Pause, please. I know I be talking a lot about Pinterest in my blog, but I not too much on Pinterest. Okay. Willem Dafoe. Let's talk about, can y'all see this man right here? Okay. Let's talk about that man. Always in a suit. Always. Now, whether he's wearing a tie or not, that is subjective. But when it comes to male fashion and when it comes to he may wear a basic suit. He may not be the most fashionable. He may to you. To me though, I love a man in a clean tailored suit. You hear me? Love a man in a suit. Next, I want to bring up um the legend himself, Michael Jackson. I know effortless. Here's the thing about effortlessness that I would, before we continue to get into the wardrobe about, Michael Jackson, um, and the rest of them. But here's the thing about effortlessness is that it is a skill that needs to be practiced and refined until you understand. It is quite literally understanding yourself and what you are capable of and what you are not capable of, and throwing away the beauty standard, the fashion standard altogether, completely. And again, remember what I said earlier about marching to the beat of your own drum? That right there. Michael Jackson was extremely see what I did there? Yeah. We all know Michael Jackson, so I'm not gonna pull up a photo. But Michael Jackson was extremely inspired by the British monarchy, not just the British monarchy, but monarchies period. And he wanted to build a legacy outside of the Jacksons or the Jackson family. That being said, he adopted this utilitarian military-esque style of fashion that honestly worked for him, and you can see that style reverberate through and through. He quite literally inspired dance culture or I don't want to say couture because it's not quite there, but dancers, if you look at a dance studio, because he would pull up wearing every and anything. And then sometimes he would show up to the video shoots, all of those things, in the clothes that he had just practiced in. um that's effortlessness for you. I also want to bring up, the queen, in my personal opinion, of effortlessness, Zoe Kravitz, because everybody wants to talk about Kendall Jenner. Yeah, I'm coming for the neck. But everybody wants to talk about Kendall Jenner, but nobody talks about Zoe Kravitz and her rock star lineage. Look at who her parents are. Both beautiful, by the way, and she is able to tie in pieces from both her mother and her father, literally the sun and the moon. Tie both of those elements, the rock element versus the earthy element, and just created her own aesthetic and her own style through that, which I think is phenomenal. And I also think if you're looking for like a lazy day outfit, stop looking at Kendall Jenner. Look at Zoe Kravitz, y'all. Get on Pinterest, okay? This is not sponsored. I wish though. Um, yeah, moving on. Another woman, the woman, all woman, Rihanna. Yes, Zoe Kravitz. Yes, y'all get it. But we're gonna talk about the queen, okay, Rihanna. Although she is more on the couture and the yes, bag wrong girl. But anywho, Rihanna. Um, although she is more up the alley of couture, it is still effortlessly done because she sees art in the world and then translates that art that she sees into her style. She is another one who has perfectly curated her downtime looks, her most effortless looks. Honestly, the looks that she probably said, "Yeah, I just threw this on," or this and that and this and that. Those are the looks that we think, "Oh, hold on," because we got a comment from Gifted Butterfly. Hey girl. Rihanna does effortlessness with a touch of bad because I can't say the B word on here, but I want to so bad. Glam. Her best fits are her grocery store fits. You get it. You get it. You get it. And you can't bring up Rihanna without bringing up ASAP Rocky. Can we get some noise for ASAP Rocky, please? I'm gonna do a bangle shake because not too not too much. But ASAP Rocky, I feel, is also someone who is up there, and that's why they work so good. Shout out to Fashion Killer, the music video. Um, sorry, I'm looking at these comments. This is my first time doing a live with the comments on, and yeah, I'm a little nervous. So thank y'all for making me laugh. But ASAP Rocky does male fashion Ugh, effortlessly. One of the best dressed men in our society. I'm gonna say America because I don't know what they got going on overseas. Um, but he is quite literally one of the best dressed men out there. Um, I'm barking for ASAP too. Woo, woo, woo. Anyway. Rocky style is top tier. Y'all get it. So but yes, ASAP Rocky, just the way that he color blocks. You know what? I'm gonna say before I continue, y'all wouldn't be wearing bedazzled pants if it wasn't for the studs and ASAP Rocky. May we get a moment in silence for both. The biggest inspiration in men's fashion right now. Yeah, he can get away with the pearls. Right. Because a lot of these I'm gonna keep my mouth shut on the pearls. Another man who I believe is also a pinnacle of like effortlessness, but in a more alternative sense, is Tyler the Creator. Tyler, happy Pride, New York, stand up. Period. Happy Pride, and that's why we're bringing up. Who did I bring up? Oh, Tyler the Creator. Yes. Tyler the Creator. Um, if y'all don't know about Tyler the Creator, you need to get on it. I feel like a lot of people know at this point. Um, I'm gonna throw it back for those of you that remember. I'm gonna throw it back all the way to Odd Future. I'm gonna throw it back all the way to the YouTube days. If you know what I'm about to say, you know. They were recording a lot of their videos, a lot of their music videos, a lot of the content that they were releasing back in the day. Um, Loiter Squad. Shout out to y'all. But they were wearing authentically just whatever they had in their closet. And a lot of what was regular everyday just fashion or just clothes for them, we see a lot of those same elements and inspirations coming back into the mainstream for streetwear in 2026. So, can we get an applause, a round of applause for Tyler the Creator and Odd Future? Frank Ocean, we miss you. Yes. Okay. Another man that I do want to bring up who is honestly one of my favorite all time ASAP, I love you, but he takes the cake. One of my favorite people when it comes to men's fashion is Coleman Domingo. Get him an Academy Award yesterday. Coleman Domingo, our Dominican daddy. He is, I was waiting on you to say him. Yes, because you get it. Because you get it. The ones that get it, get it. Coleman Domingo is effortlessly, and I just saw, you know what? For those of you that don't know who he is, because I know that he's more so coming into the mainstream. He's getting his flowers now, although I think he should have been. And he played Joe Jackson. Just a FYI. Come on. What? Hold on. Let me show you the epitome. The epitome of effortless men's fashion. Do you see this? Well, y'all don't see it because I'm seeing it. Hold on. Yeah. Do y'all see this? Fellas, take notes, okay? Y'all taking notes from the studs. Take notes from Coleman Domingo. Now let me look back at these comments, okay? Now he can wear a suit, okay? Yes, he can. And when Coleman hits the red carpet, I pay attention every time. Cause me too. Because same, he knows how to put that shit on. And I'm sorry, I had to say it. He knows how to put it on. And last but never the least, La Roche. Let me say that again for you. La Roche. He is the curator. We would not have Celine Dion. We would not have Zendaya. We would not have a lot of the looks and the people that we deem effortless if it wasn't for Law. Let's be real. And if you look at Law's fashion, he's very sleek. Honestly, I would say he represents clean fashion, but he represents clean fashion for the girls, the gays, and them days. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm saying. But his ability, I want to talk about his ability to effortlessly put on an outfit. He understands. That's why that is literally why he's the image architect here. He is the image architect because he curates your looks based off of who you are, how you feel, what you look like, how it looks. Now, if you have to suffer to get the look in, baby, suck it in and tighten the corset. Shut up, get out there, and I will give you the burger that you desire. I will give you the biggie bag, but you gotta fit into this mother gown. You hear me? That's La Roach. Okay. Um, seriously, because if you want a burger, get a burger, but it's gonna be post event. Um, yes, these names. And honestly, if you guys even have anyone else that you'd like to mention, as an honorable mention, throw their names out there. I don't Prince. Haha, beat you to it. But these names are honestly just a few compared to the endless array of effortless dressers of the world. Again, people forget that effortlessness is a practiced skill. It doesn't mean you have to practice living in effortlessness. It's simply you getting to know yourself in the silence that everyone avoids. What are your favorite colors? What are your favorite patterns? What are some things you are into when no one is looking? Oh, and another thing. Are we truly able to live in effortlessness if we care about the beholder's perception of beauty and perfection? Read the answer on Substack. Anyways, thank you everybody for attending this week's episode of Beyond Clothes. Again, I'm Alexis, aka Dandan, and I say, well, you don't have to get off the internet. You do indeed have to hop off this live. I will see y'all next week. Thank you very much. Love you. Bye bye.